Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rassslin Rantin, and this is our continuation of our countdowns of 2016 in professional wrestling top 10 list. Thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate it. If you like this video, if you like this channel, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and definitely share this with people who you think might find it interesting. We are also affiliated with Loot Crate, so there is a WWE Slam Crate that you can get online. You can spend a little bit of money and get a whole bunch of WWE swag. It's definitely worth it. They've got the Road to WrestleMania Slam Crate coming out now, so definitely check that out and click the link below and help out the channel. On to our list this week, we are talking about breakout stars, and these are guys who kind of, you know, they were kind of dithering a little bit, or they weren't big major stars. Maybe they were lower rung mid-card guys, but they broke out into another level this year. So here are the top 10 breakout stars of 2016. Number 10 is Adam Cole. Adam Cole was, he was a guy in Ring of Honor. He's been around for a while. He's a decent wrestler. He's won championships. But this year, joining Bullet Club, ending Jay Lethal's lengthy reign as Ring of Honor champion, definitely earned him a number 10 spot on this list. And we think 2017, depending on where he is come April when his contract is up, whether he's still in ROH or on NXT or wherever he is, we expect to see big things, even bigger things in 2017. Number 9, Pentagon Dark. Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Dark is probably one of the best stories, characters, personas on Lucha Underground. And if you're not familiar with it, he's kind of like the wild card on the show. The Cero Mero thing, he doesn't fear death. Whole thing from breaking arms, he's basically pissed off everybody on the roster, heel or face. They had an entire episode dedicated to him against the Black Lotus Triad, where he kind of got his comeuppance. He had a match at Ultima Lucha Dos against Montanza. He didn't win a championship. The whole gory, disgusting blood spot he had with Vampiro at the beginning of the year, plus just the work he does down in the south of the border. I mean, Pentagon Jr., he is a great character on Lucha Underground as Pentagon Dark. He's even crazier, and every time he's on Lucha Underground, I just get excited because he's one of my favorite wrestlers of this year, and he definitely was a breakout star in 2016. Number 7, The Miz. I was not going to put The Miz on this list, and I had to rethink this list a little bit because The Miz in the last half of this year, he does deserve credit for, number one, being the only real legit traditional heel in WWE. He's a heel, you're supposed to boo him, you do boo him because you hate his ass. You hate his stupid frog face, you hate his attitude, his persona. When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. All of that stuff he's come up with, the whole interactions he's had with Daniel Bryan, where he really poured out some real emotion in there that he's been trying his ass off and over. You know, you saw that come out in his eyes. I loved all of that stuff. Bringing back Maurice, his wife, this whole thing now, you know, with Dean Ambrose and Renee Young. He is really done excellently well at being a heel. He is one of the best heels WWE, actually not one of the best, he is the best heel WWE has, and he's on SmackDown, and the whole brand split, he's one of the guys that benefited from it. So The Miz definitely deserves some praise for what he did in 2016. Number 6, Ricochet, aka Prince Puma. Ricochet, Prince Puma, wherever name he is, if he's in New Japan, if he's on the Indies, if he's on Lucha Underground as Prince Puma, it doesn't matter. This guy is one of the most talented wrestlers. He had a breakout year in 2016, not just because of his in-ring work and that crazy match he had with Will Ospreay that got everybody upset and talking, but just the fact that he's been a great ambassador for the sport. He's gone out and done, if you listen to a lot of his interviews, he's a great kid. He's got his head on his shoulders. He's one of these guys that everybody goes, ooh, he's going to go to WWE. Fortunately, he said he's got more to do in New Japan and in Lucha Underground that he wants to keep doing. The Prince Puma, Mil Muertes feud is one of the classic feuds of this year and last year. I mean, this guy he's a future superstar, and you should just enjoy now watching him as he evolves and grows as being a star. Mic work needs a little work, but Lucha Underground showed how you can get around with that and just pull out passion in him, and you can get a good promo out of the guy. So yeah, another breakout star this year. Number 5, Sexy Star. Sexy Star, again, I have sang her praises in the women's countdown I did earlier this week, but Sexy Star did something that very few women have done. She won a male championship. Yeah, I can look at China, I can look at Medusa Michelli, the only other ones to win male championships. She was Lucha Underground champion this year, and it was no small feat in how she did it. Her No Mas match earlier this year, she really turned it on. And yeah, she doesn't speak English, so you know, get over that stuff. Her character, just her character, and kudos also to Matt Stryker and Vampiro for being able to tell her story on the microphone. Kudos to the writers of Lucha Underground with the whole Martinez family feud, getting that across, her feud with the Worldwide Underground and Johnny Mundo. It's her relationship with the Mac. I mean, they were able to build all of this out of this character who doesn't say a lot, but she is a great character and definitely a breakout star, especially here north of the border for us North American wrestling fans. Number 4, Will Ospreay. I had to say Will Ospreay, man. Will Ospreay, he was number 1 on this list for a long time, and then that got revised, much like the Miz thing. But Will Ospreay, this was his breakout year. He got introduced into New Japan by Okada, who brought him into Chaos. His first match with Kushida was an excellent match. Of course, his whole thing with Vader, them turning that into an actual match from a flame war on Twitter, him being a great ambassador for UK wrestling, winning the Super Juniors tournament, going overnight to becoming a sensation with hardcore wrestling fans. He was featured on ESPN, for God's sakes. I mean, this guy has really stepped it up and brought eyeballs not only to himself, but also to Rev Pro Wrestling and all the UK wrestling. He's one of the big parts of the new British invasion in pro wrestling in 2016 and going into 2017. We expect it to continue. He's a young guy. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders. I love what he's done this year. He was talked about a lot. Will Ospreay, that is a clear indication of what you can do as an indie guy and become a big star without being in the WWE, to the point that they sent Paul Heyman to give him a contract, for God's sakes. So yeah, Will Ospreay, bang up year, one of my favorite wrestlers of 2016. Number 3, James Ellsworth. Yeah, I went there. James Ellsworth was, I know it's a gimmick, but this is kind of the epitome of being a breakout star. I mean, the guy, he wasn't celebrated on the indies or anything. James Ellsworth was nothing. He was nobody. And they basically did a great job of storytelling with this character on SmackDown, which again, it goes to show how whoever is writing SmackDown, the rumors are it's a former NXT writer, knows what they're doing. They were able to take this guy who I looked at and was like, why are they putting this guy? And then they made you interested in it, so much to the point that the SmackDown that he was supposed to face AJ Styles for the championship on actually got a 300,000 viewer bump in the ratings. So it worked. Congratulations to the guy for his 15 minutes of fame. SmackDown used him effectively. And, you know, if I'm James Ellsworth, I'm looking back in 2016, a dream came true, and I can't help but be happy for him. You know, he broke through. Congratulations to James Ellsworth. Number 2, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega was number 1 on this list, but again, when I looked at the criteria for this breakout star, a star who's broken out of where they were and gotten a lot higher, I gotta put Kenny Omega. I gotta put somebody else at number 1, but Kenny Omega definitely was number 1 for some time too this year. The accomplishments are just a lot. He went from a comedy joke member of the Bullet Club to being a main event star, now main eventing the second biggest wrestling event of the year, Wrestle Kingdom 11, coming up next week. His performances at the G1 tournament were absolutely amazing. He introduced the first ladder match into New Japan Pro Wrestling against Michael Elgin. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He stepped it up against Okada and Tanahashi and Naito. He has put himself in that conversation, in that stratosphere of being one of the top guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling and the leader of Bullet Club. So yeah, 2016 was a bang out year for Kenny Omega, and hats off to the guy for doing what he did. He finally, you know, there's still critics of him that don't like some of the stuff he did earlier in his career, some of the goofball stuff that he did, but he proved that he is as talented as we all think he can be, as some of us thought and knew he could be. He's finally proving it now, so hats off. Number 1, Matt Hardy. He originally wasn't going to be on this list because, and this is the reason why I changed the list and he became number 1, because I didn't really think breakout. Matt Hardy's already been a superstar, but I had to think of where he was a year ago, and he's been milquetoast for so long, and the broken Matt Hardy thing. I mean, if they're again, this is another classic example of being a breakout star. He broke out not only himself, but TNA Wrestling, a show that a lot of people had given up on watching. And he is probably the main reason most people are watching TNA now, or even paid attention to TNA. He got buzz from tons of people, and people like myself, people on other podcasts and other YouTube channels started talking about TNA because of the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick, the whole storyline, the character he created. So yeah, number one breakout star of the year is Matt Hardy. Congratulations to him and to everybody else on the list. My personal list. So, as I always say, this is my opinion, not yours. Your opinion is going to be different. So I want to hear your opinions down in the comment section below. Let your voice be heard. Until then, we'll see you guys next time for more of our countdowns as we get through 2016 all the way up until New Year's Eve, where we'll have our final countdown, which will be the best matches of 2016. See you guys later. Again, don't forget to like this video and share it if you find it interesting. See you later.